in which our happy couples learn that life is not easy, whether as newlyweds or as recent divorcees. Chapter 32. When Vronsky came home, Anna was not yet there. He was told that some lady had come to see her shortly after he left, and that they had gone off together. The fact that she had gone without saying where, that she was still away, that she had also gone somewhere in the morning without telling him anything, all this, along with the strangely excited expression on her face that morning, and the memory of the hostile tone with which, in Yashvin's presence, she had all but torn the photographs of her son out of his hands, made him ponder. He decided that it was necessary to have a talk with her, and he waited for her in her drawing-room. But Anna did not come back alone. She brought her aunt with her, an old maid, Princess Oblonsky. This was the same one who had come in the morning, and with whom Anna had gone shopping. Anna seemed not to notice Vronsky's concerned and questioning expression, and cheerfully told him what she had bought that morning. He saw that something peculiar was going on in her. Her shining eyes, when they fleetingly rested on him, showed a strained attention, and her talk and movements had that nervous quickness and grace that on the first time of their intimacy had so delighted him, and now troubled and alarmed him. Dinner was set for 4. They were all about to go to the small dining-room when Tushkevich arrived with a message for Anna from Princess Betsy. Princess Betsy apologized for not coming to say goodbye. She was not well, but asked Anna to come to her between 6:30 and 9. At this specification of the time, showing that measures had been taken so that she would not meet anyone, Vronsky glanced at Anna, but Anna seemed not to know it. "I regret that between 6:30 and 9 is precisely when I cannot come," she said, smiling lightly. "The princess will be very sorry." "I am too." "You must be going to hear Patty?" said Tushkevich. "Patty? That gives me an idea. I would go if I could get a box." "I can get one," Tushkevich volunteered. "I'd be very, very grateful to you," said Anna. "And would you care to dine with us?" Vronsky gave a barely noticeable shrug. He utterly failed to understand what Anna was doing. Why had she brought this old princess? Why had she asked Tushkevich to stay for dinner? And most surprising, why was she sending him to get a box? Was it thinkable in her situation to go to a subscription performance by Patty, when all her society acquaintances would be there? He gave her a serious look, but she answered with the same defiant look, something between cheerful and desperate, the meaning of which he could not fathom. During dinner, Anna was aggressively cheerful. She seemed to flirt with both Tushkevich and Yashvin. When they got up from the table, Tushkevich went for the box, while Yashvin went to smoke. Vronsky accompanied him to his room. Having stayed for some time, he ran back upstairs. Anna was already dressed in a light-colored gown of silk and velvet, with a low-cut neck that had been made for her in Paris, and had costly white lace on her head, which framed her face and showed off her striking beauty to particular advantage. "Are you really going to the theater?" he said, trying not to look at her. "Why do you ask so fearfully?" she said. again offended that he was not looking at her. "Why shouldn't I go?" It was as if she did not understand the meaning of his words. "Of course, there's no reason at all," he said, frowning. "That's just what I say," she said, deliberately not understanding the irony of his tone and calmly rolling up a long, perfumed glove. "Anna, for God's sake, what's the matter with you?" he said, trying to wake her up in the same way that her husband had once spoken to her. "I don't understand what you're asking." "You know it's impossible to go." "Why? I'm not going alone. Princess Varvara has gone to dress. She will go with me." He shrugged his shoulders with a look of bewilderment and despair. "But don't you know—" he tried to begin. "I don't even want to know," she almost shouted. "I don't. Do I repent of what I've done? No, no, no. If it were all to be done over again, it would be the same. For us, for me and for you, only one thing matters, whether we love each other. There are no other considerations. Why do we live separately here and not see each other? Why can't I go? I love you, and it makes no difference to me," she said in Russian, glancing at him with eyes that had a peculiar, incomprehensible gleam. "As long as you haven't changed. Why don't you look at me?" He looked at her. He saw all the beauty of her face and of her attire, which had always been so becoming to her, but now it was precisely her beauty and elegance that irritated him. "My feeling cannot change. You know that. But I ask you not to go. I implore you," he said again in French, with a tender plea in his voice, but with a coldness in his eyes. She did not hear the words, but saw the coldness of his eyes, and answered with irritation, "And I ask you to tell me why I shouldn't go." "Because it may cause you to be—" he faltered. "I understand nothing. Yashvin, n'est-ce pas compromettat? And Princess Varvara is no worse than others. And here she is." If you enjoy this format, please leave a like and subscribe and return tomorrow for the next chapter.